Hey, my YouTube friends and family. This is your boy GB Reviews Everything. This is our regular Monday live stream. Today, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the movie that we saw last night, which was Deadpool 2. Thought it was amazing, but I'll talk about that. And then we'll talk about the royal wedding, which I really thought was amazing. It's one of those things that here in America we do. But it's interesting that it was such a big event. It was such a big pre-event where people were really talking about what they thought it was going to be, what they thought it wasn't going to be, and if her dad was going to come, things like that. But we're going to talk about that. So today, again, I'm going to give you updates. I'm going to give you updates about I'm gonna give you updates about my headphones, the headphones that I was using before that I did the unboxing of last week. What we found out about the headphones is that they are very easy to lose, and so yeah, I lost the headphones. So what I had to do is I had to get a brand new pair of the Beats, the Power Beats 2s, because I left them and they were, yeah. I was very sad about that. But a shout out to American Express. American Express did cover, they have purchase protection. So if you have the right American Express card, I would say definitely make sure you get an American Express card, because the purchase protection on the American Express cards is amazing. It's truly amazing. I called them. I told them my situation. I had purchased them within 90 days. And they said, oh, no problem. Just send us the receipt, the model number, serial number. And they made a claim. And so I was able to go out and purchase a brand new pair of Beats, Power Beats. So that's my plug for American Express today. I'm not going to do any more plugs for any other companies today, even though the Power Beats I do like. So I'll do a plug for that. Anyway, so let's move on to the royal wedding. So the royal wedding, like I said, it was pretty good. I got up at 4 o'clock, happy Ramadan to all my Muslim friends out there. So we got up to eat at 4 o'clock. Because the wedding was starting at 4 o'clock. And I said I was going to go back to sleep and I wasn't going to stay up and watch some of the the coverage of it. But you know what? I was tossing and turning, and then I ended up staying up. So I ended up staying up to watch the whole pre-gaming of the wedding, and I also watched the wedding. Now, what I'm going to say is I recorded CNN and then I watched CBS, and thinking back on it, my friends were like, oh, they watched the BBC one and I should have watched that one. But anyway, whatever. So I was switching back and forth. What I realized is that while if I have my preference between, Fox News and maybe CNN, I'll probably watch CNN. But what I realized is CNN is not the CNN that I used to like. CNN International, they're good still. And they had CNN International correspondents there, and I'll tell you why I think they're different. So CNN has they really are all about sensationalizing everything. And I thought that, don't get me wrong, the wedding should be sensational. But I just found that the coverage was more about kind of mundane, just trivial things, whereas the coverage on CBS was more, news people. But talking a little bit, like Gayle King did a great job. Gayle King, I give her 2 thumbs up. She did an awesome job. But they were talking more about the people that were there and why they were there, and they were giving some of the background, and they talked about that. On the CNN side, Don Lemon God bless him, but he just disappoints me every time. I just think he's just not. I think he is probably good for I'm not going to disrespect him because, the brother's doing his thing, but he is probably good for the stations he came from, but he's not good on the national stage. I mean, the things that he says, it's just kind of is modern day buffoonery in many ways. And also, I think that he sensationalizes things that don't need to be sensationalized. Like, the wedding was great. So we're going to go back to the wedding, and then I'll circle back to this, why I think CNN has a lot of C and B students compared to CBS and some of the international news stations that have A students. But anyway, so the wedding, I watched the pregame of it. Very nice. The weather couldn't have been better. And here in Washington, we got all the British weather that weekend. It was pouring the whole time. It was nasty, rainy, dark, gloomy. It was awesome. I like that kind of weather because that's good sleeping weather. But for the wedding, it was surprisingly bright and sunny and nice, and they couldn't have asked for a better day. And when you saw the folks that came to the wedding, which they intentionally did this, they didn't invite heads of state because they didn't want to make a political thing. And I also think it helps that he's the second son. But it was like a celebrity guest list, who's who of British and American celebrities, and I thought that was actually pretty cool. I think the only one, I think the only kind of dignitary, he wasn't even as a dignitary, but I think though he's the Prince of Lesotho, I think, and I think he and Harry are just really good friends, so that's why he came. But it was really good. I was impressed with just just the way that the pomp and circumstance of the whole thing. I like the fact that Serena Williams was there and her husband, and Idris Elba and Oprah Winfrey and Amal Clooney with George Clooney, and there's a list of others. I forgot the actress's name, but anyway, she's from that FBI show. She's cool too. But I thought it was, hey, kids play and have fun. How are you? So I thought it was cool. Looking back at it, though, I would have probably invited some. If it was me, I would have invited some other stars. But it was really classy. So I liked all the dresses. I thought that Prince Harry's cousins, Beatrice and the other one, I can't think of their names. They need stylists. Like, yo, call me. I'm available. I got you. Because those dresses that they had just weren't very flattering. They just made them look. They're in their 20s and they look like they're in their 30s or 40s, and that's just not good. So I think that they could have done better, but that's neither here nor there. Let them do them. They just, if I was, let me just say, if I was in the royal family, I'd be dressed to the nines, and it wouldn't have to be expensive. So, but so fast forward, we get to Meghan and her mom. Thought that was good when they came up. And then I thought it was really good that Prince Charles walked her halfway up the aisle. That was amazing. Prince Charles, love him or hate him, I think he has really redeemed himself over the past couple of years. And I think that he, again, what a lot of people, brought out, we talk about the Diana thing, and, it's easy to deify someone who's dead, right? Especially when they die young, because they are frozen in time at that moment. Princess Diana, I thought she was cool, and I was young when she died. I'm not young; I was in my 20s when she died, but I thought she was, she was cool. But you're frozen in time, and how the old saying, "All sins are forgiven." So she is like the best of the best, like kind of like when Michael Jackson died. People didn't think about the fact that they weren't buying his albums for the most part, and still call him a pedophile. But when he died, he was the best thing since sliced bread. And I like Michael Jackson, so no disrespect to Michael Jackson. Princess Diana, again, she was awesome, but she was like a regular. When I look back at it, I'm older than she is now. Older now than she was when she died, and she was just really looking back on it, she was just living the life of a normal 36-year-old trying to get out from under the kind of the spotlight, right? And so Prince Charles, I think, so she was the heroine, and so Prince Charles by default had to be the villain, right? But I think they were both kind of in situations that they didn't want to be in. So that's neither here nor there. We're gonna fast forward back to the 2018. He has redeemed himself, and I think he and Camilla wish him the best. But I thought that it was very nice that he walked her up, and then she walked the rest of the way. And then Prince Harry was like, "Yo, you look amazing," and hey, I'm not gonna hate on him. I know there's a lot of folks out there that hate on him, and a lot of my own people, and they hate on Black folks for no reason. Like, she's mixed, so she's not Black. I don't get that. That's whack. A lot of haters out there need to just, pump the brakes, because it's not that serious, right? At the end of the day, she's happy, he's happy, keep it moving. The ceremony was great. It reminded me of a Black church ceremony. I think Bishop Michael Curry gave an amazing sermon. It reminded me of something that you would find a Baptist preacher giving, even though he's Episcopalian and he's the head of the Episcopalian church. So don't sleep on him. And he also went to Yale, so big up to Yale because, you know, as an alum, I have to give a shout out to Yale. But he gave an amazing sermon. I thought the choir was really good. Okay, so let me walk that back. I thought they were good, and the songs that they sung were good. Now, would I say they're the best? Would I say it's a Color Purple level performance? No, it's not. But it was shocking for a British royal wedding. So I think that's why people said, "Oh, it's so awesome." It was good. It was a really good song. It wasn't the best gospel song I've ever heard. I mean, if you really were trying to be shocking, you would have invited Aretha Franklin and had her sing. So that was great. And then after the sermon, then they had the young man who, the young black boy who played the cello. He was 19. Awesome. Then they had another, the head of the Queen's, not the head, I think he's the bishop of that church, the Anglican church, but another black lady, Black Britainer. And then they walked out to gospel songs again. So I would say, hey, Mika, how you doing, Mika? Well, there's Mika. He's the one making all the noise. Anyway, like that noise. But anyway, thanks, Mika. Making noise on my tape. Thank you. Anyway, so the wedding was a black wedding. It was pretty much a black wedding. And I was shocked, but it was nice. So I would say if you get a chance to watch it in replay, you can go get the highlight reel and watch it. But I thought that they did a very good job. I wish them all the best. I thought that I was talking to some of my colleagues, and we were just talking about how it's interesting. You know, people are saying, well, why are people so concerned about the, you know, British royal family? And I think, you know, the British royal family is kind of like when you watch a movie, right? It's an escape. Like America is supposed to be a happy place, and America is supposed to be happy, but since there's so many things going on, school shootings and all kind of craziness in America, I think watching the British royal family was an escape. So thank you, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry and the royal family for providing Americans just, you know, a few hours, 4 hours of opportunity to kind of just get away from the kind of the turmoil and troubles of what's going on in the world. So let's move forward. Deadpool 2. Because I can't talk more about the wedding unless I just start dancing or whatever. But anyway, Deadpool 2. We saw it last night. It was a different, it was in the same vein of the first Deadpool movie, but it was different in the sense that you got to see some other stuff that you wouldn't have thought about seeing before. And the first movie was kind of by himself, and he was, you know, learning his, you know, there was a lot of backstory to why he was the way he was, and there was, you know, then he became the way, and there was time jumping back and forth. And I don't think there was any time jumping in this. Well, there's some literal time jumping, but there was no time jumping in terms of the storyline, really. But then he got to form the X-Force, which is, you know, like a spinoff of the X-Men. They're a little bit darker. Even in the comic book, it's darker. You know, they do a little bit more killing. It's, you know, they're kind of like the, they are similar to Suicide Squad in terms of in the comic book, not in the movie. But in the comic book, the way Suicide Squad actually should have been, where they definitely would kill you. So the movie I thought was very good. I haven't seen Infinity War. In my opinion, it definitely was not better than Black Panther or Ragnarok, but it was better than I think the last Winter Soldier, Captain America, and it wasn't better than Deadpool 1 only because the things that he did in the movie, you know, the shtick, like talking, breaking the fourth wall, and things like that. You already knew that was going to happen. So that was kind of cool. And it was cool in the things that he referenced. And again, I'm not trying to give you a lot of the spoilers, but, you know, it was cool in the sense that, you know, Ryan Reynolds, he didn't disappoint. He did a really good job. Josh Brolin, I thought was really good too. And the fact that he was in, I mean, that dude must be the hardest working person in the Marvel universe other than Samuel Jackson, the Black Nick Fury, because he basically did 2 major movies back to back. And I don't know when they filmed his parts for Avengers Infinity War, but back to back. Basically, he's the star to two franchises. And what's nice about one of the franchises is that he should be coming back, and they've set it up where the folks are young enough that they could be doing the not Infinity War. They could be doing the X-Force franchise, kind of like the X-Men franchise, but they can also continue to do the Deadpool franchise, because Ryan Reynolds, he can keep getting older, but his face is all messed up, so you don't even care. So if he gets older, they can make up that, and you would still think he's young. So he could do Deadpool probably until he's not able to stay fit. So the movie I thought was good. Ted Cruz is in it. He's funny. There's some mystery folks in there. I'm not going to name them, but you probably, you know what? Actually, I'm going to name them because you probably already read the articles. Brad Pitt is in there, so I would say look for Brad Pitt. I won't tell you who he is. Look for him. And Matt Damon's in the movie, and I would say look for Matt Damon. But it was that was pretty good. And then there's some other X-Men that show up in the movie, but I won't tell you who of the X-Men franchise. But Colossus, and Negasonic Teenage Warhead, she's in there. But there's some other X-Men that show up in the movie. All in all, it was a good movie. I thought that the level of kind of humor was the right amount. The level of violence was actually much less than the first movie. The tone of the movie was good. Oh, there's another surprise person. I'm not going to tell you who it is because it'll definitely spoil the movie. But yeah, I thought that was pretty good. I thought it was really good the way they worked it in. And the CGI was not, it wasn't, some parts of the CGI weren't as good. And I thought that was problematic. But, but it was a good movie. It's runtime is about 2 hours, and you won't be disappointed. It was a lot of good scenes, a lot of good backstory in terms of why X-Force is the way it is. There are things in the movie that they don't explain about, like Cable and some of the other folks like Shatterstar, stuff like that. But there's only too much. There's only so much they can pack into 2 hours. There, I'm gonna stop. So Deadpool, great. I think you'll like it. Go see it. Again, I give it 2 thumbs up. If Cisco and Evil were alive, I would hope that they give at least 2 thumbs up. I'm circling back because I said I was gonna circle back to the Don Lemon thing and why I think that CNN is C students, or maybe B students, but I think they're C students. So if you know British culture and you see the British folks at a wedding and you see the looks on their faces, that's just how British aristocracy are. I mean, they have a very kind of dour looking face where they, you would think that they're upset, but really that's just kind of like, it goes with the whole mantra, the keep calm mantra that they have, where you're just not going to see a lot of emotion. But my boy Don Lemon, he asked, he said, this is after the wedding was over. He asked some of the other British from CNN International, much better organization, by the way. They actually do the news. They don't do all of this commentary. They criticize Fox News about doing that, but I can't tell the difference between who's entertainment and who's news on CNN. I mean, yes, maybe they don't make up as much stuff, but they give a lot of opinions. But anyway, Don Lemon goes back and says, do you think they were upset about how long the sermon went? And, the Queen must have been upset or something like that, something to that effect. And down to every British person they asked and Richard Quest, they said, no, the Queen would have approved everything. And the wedding went just the way she wanted it to go. And this is how British people are at weddings. And it was fine. And they were actually probably happy that this is a change of pace. But I'm like, Don Lemon, dude, why you got to put that out in the atmosphere? Why you got to put that out there? That's just something else for people to latch on to. So again, I used to love CNN, and I still think Aaron Burnett, awesome. I still think Anderson Cooper and Jake Tapper. The rest of those folks, I'm not gonna call them clowns, but they might as well be clowns. Like, really, the things that they were talking about, just like, and the thing is, some of those folks that now are just, to me, clowns, they weren't clowns before. So maybe, you get the money and they said you need to just be more entertaining or whatever. And I just think it's unfortunate. CBS, did an excellent job. Like I said, Gail King and all the folks she had on, I thought did a wonderful job. I think that all in all, you would have felt like it was a much better insight to what was going on. And they didn't talk nearly as much as the folks on CNN. Like the CNN folks, I felt like they had to talk just to fill the time. Oh, and the other thing I was Tish and something. The thing on HBO with Will Ferrell, do not watch that. It's just pointless. I recorded it just to watch a little bit of it. It wasn't funny. It wasn't funny. And so I think it might have been funnier if they would have been closer to the wedding, but the fact that they were by London Bridge and they were cutting back and forth to shots, I didn't find it that funny. So I would say stay away from that. That is definitely stay away from that. But all in all, Deadpool, 2 thumbs up. The wedding, 2 thumbs up. The Tish and Corgi thing, it's horrible. Anyway, this is your boy GB Reviews. I'm going to get out of here. I've talked for 20 minutes, and I hope that you check out some of my other videos. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. So I would say if you like my other videos or you like this video, please click the like button, ring that bell if you want to hear when I'm online, which is normally I do live streams every Monday. I'm gonna put up another video this week. I just got to figure out which video it is. And then please subscribe to my channel. Thank you to all my subscribers now. I think I'm at 997 or something like that. So if you can, please subscribe to my channel, and I will catch up with you next Monday. So it's your boy, GB Reviews. I'm out.